Badness, real no folks. Rubber bats, badness, real no folks. Gun them clean, them on the field shot. 32 in a day, that make you all the quick turn. Bumbo clap. Represent for Rebel Vice, I'm sure. Everything gonna real no folk. 7:30 to 9 p.m. Make sure you're tuning. Real no folk. Yo, Tanya, yeah, seen a killer. Alright then, what's him like a Campari? Don't we walk with you?
Big up everybody from the top of my list to the base of my list. It's your girl Tania Black, and it's Thursday, 7:30. Rebel's Voice. We here to talk to the people them, to make the people them know what Guan in and out of dancehall, right now, sound system culture, and all of these things. In the studio tonight, we have no other than Sheldon Bruce, otherwise known as Musclehead of Two Line Hut. He'll be talking to us tonight about entrepreneurship, about sound system culture, and about his podcast. So if you stay tuned, you'll hear from him. A whole lot is going on in sound system in dancehall right now. Big up yourself, Gucci Matic. Thanks for checking in. Is going on in sound culture right now, because not a lot, I should say, is going on in sound system culture right now, other than what you see online, and a little bit of party here and a little bit of party there, you know, in the zones that are really like up to party in Miami. You know, a lot of the states is keeping a lot of party, but Canada is on a real lockdown. So not now go on other than the online interaction right here now in a sound system culture and dancehall itself. We see a lot of production going on. Raleigh Benz is into production. No dance now go on. So for them thing a production right now, them have a few rhythm out. And they also have a few songs out. Turkish Shell I mash up the place right now, and it's on I think it's 1831 Bad Slave Rhythm. So you go want to check out that, because that's still hot and that's still afloat around the place. And that's again, that is from Raleigh Benz them camp, the Silver Bullet camp. So on the lookout for that one day. They also have a Future Rhythm, which has Bad Girl Jade on it. You want to hear that one there. It also have Duxie Ranks on it. Big up yourself, Fox Griffith. Long time no see you know, but big up yourself. It also have Duxie Ranks and Excel Black, I think, on that rhythm as well. Another person out of Toronto that's doing a lot of production is Pablo Soul Survival. The Soul Survival camp, they have a studio over there, and they're doing a whole lot of recording with people like Lindo P and other artists out of Toronto right now. So big up Soul Survival and the Up Move, where I make further on sound system culture, or even dancehall culture, reggae music culture. You're seeing, big up yourself on that. Who else out there that do production right now in Canada? I believe one more person, but I can't come up with the name right now because me I do it from the top of my head. You don't know them things you go. So big up the people that would have put in the work and carrying on the thing. Seen? All right then. What else are going out there? Jada Kingdom in the news right now. Jada Kingdom is in the news right now. Let me remove that for a second. It's kind of different when you're doing your own production at the back and all of these things. So bear with me for a second. Yeah, man. So Jada Kingdom in the news right now. She is being sued by her manager. A lot of suing are going around the place. Miss Kitty the sue because the man say she eat enough food or something like that. Jada I get sued because she went on live and did a live video, and her manager is displeased with the video. Here's the video. You take a look. Let me know if you can't hear it.
You lie and you thief and you fuck up and you don't want to see me reach away, you don't want to see me eat. Last year, you watched me get evicted. You watched me get evicted last year, and I got asked me, how it a go while you were stealing from me, while you owe me so much fucking thousands of fucking dollars. That's different. Anything you buy for me is my money. You use to it and act as if you did it off of your own, as if you see my situation, you see my mother's situation, and you're stealing and lying and making me run in circles.
So big up Jada Kingdom. She is countersuing and trying to get a new team out there right now. She was spotted in Connecticut on the weekend doing what she does best, hanging out with her fans. Here's a peek. Sure.
You watched.
Sure. What else is going on? Buju Banton is also in the news right now. Buju is in the news right now. He's got sponsorship for his foundation, even though the Jamaican government has decided that they're not granting Buju permission to start the foundation. Buju has partnered with Audio Max, and Audio Max has donated $5,000 to the Buju Banton Foundation, as well as donated equipment to 3 schools that Buju is involved in. All of these articles that are written, and I'm showing you right now, will be uploaded to the Facebook group called Sound Clash Culture Review, as well as my IG page, which is one Tania Black. You guys could check out everything there and read it for yourselves. But what else is going on? Musclehead has just entered the virtual studio, and I kind of like got excited because he's hearing everything. So don't mind me for a second right there. Let's roll some commercials right now while he gets himself situated.
So tickets are available for only $25 or $35 at the gate. You can meet me at the party. Saturday, May 29th. It's time to take it to the next level. Get ready to pack your coolers and roll out with your friends. On Saturday, May 29th, the Lion Center gets turned up as Coalition Entertainment and AI Rentals are going to take you to the next level. Next Level is K-Man's ultimate summer kickoff cooler event featuring the best in 90s and early 2000s hip-hop, dancehall, and soca. With music by Coalition Sound with DJ Lynn, Scatter Hyde, and DJ Nico. Sound Revolution, Adam Force, DJ Joshy Vibes, and Select the Renegade. Ladies, roll out early. Doors open at 7 p.m. Must be 21 to party. You can purchase your tickets exclusively on eventpro.ky. Tickets are limited due to COVID restrictions. Special early bird tickets only $20 till May 1st. Pre-sold tickets are available for only $25 or $35 at the gate. You can meet me at the party. Saturday, May 29th. It's time to take it to the next level.
King Fargo will be on War Report next Monday, so tune into that. All of King Fargo fans, them, it's gonna be a rough house business, but it's just gonna be King Fargo there that night being highlighted. So you want to tune into next week's War Report. That's 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 9 p.m. UK time. Don't miss that. King Fargo will be on the lawn doing his thing. All right. So massive. With no further ado, we will bring Musclehead to the screen.
What's going on there?
What's going on, Muscle? Hey.
Great.
Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Haven't seen you since COVID.
Oh man, it's been a hot minute, but we're here. You know what? That's a lie. We've seen each other virtually, probably even up to yesterday.
True.
In person, it's been a hot minute, but virtually, you see what's going on, and I see what's going on, so we're good.
We're doing the thing virtually. See, we're not even gonna take time because guess what? Enough we have to talk about, and I won't even be able to hold you here for long because you have appointments.
Okay, but before we even get into the conversation, I know somewhere in the conversation I'm going to need about 3 minutes to go downstairs and grab somebody, so I'll give you the signal when though. But
all right, just give me the signal when. You're pro at this.
Sometimes.
I'm following your lead tonight.
I'm on your show. Listen, you see when I'm on this side of the screen, I'm on your show. I'm the guest. I'm the guest. I'm following your lead.
All right, you're the guest tonight. Let's forget say you even know me for a second. Let's pretend for a second, even though the first question right out the box pertains to the fact that I knew you from back then. So from back then, I met you when we were about what, 12 years old?
You know what? You're right on. It was 12.
Yeah, I met you when you were around 12. But what I never knew or never asked is, where did you come from before then?
Where I come from? My mom.
Move on, go on, my mother.
No, originally.
Where did you move from? Before you landed in Glendora, where were you?
I was thinking. I was born in Toronto, so originally we lived in East York, which was Blake Street. You know what I mean? So then that's where I came in. I think we lived there for about 12 years. And then I came to Glendora when I was 12.
Okay. When you came to Glendora, what was your family structure like? When you came to Glendora, what was your family structure like? What was it like?
Family structure was me, my sister, and my mom. I'm the oldest one, so my younger sister and my mom. We were the ones that,
Folly.
Say that one more time.
What's your sister's name again?
Carolyn. Philly.
All right, thank you. To just make sure that I was saying it right.
Yeah.
I can recall when your mom passed away.
Yeah.
I can recall when your mom passed away, a lot of things, you changed. You changed. You started hanging down your head a lot. You know, so it's good to see you now with your head up. You hung your head down a lot. And I could remember the big shorts. How
you went there very quickly in this show, but let's go. If we're going there, we're going there. This went there quickly, but if we're going there, let's go there 100%.
How was it growing up after your mom passed in Glendora and being the head of your family and being that guy?
It was interesting, to say the least. You had to figure things out quickly because she died when I was 14. So then it was me, my sister, my aunt, and my older cousin, basically my sister also. So we were now the unit. So I was still the only guy. So it's like, yo, you had to go figure it out. Those times I was really quiet. I would go around, hang around. I would observe a lot, see what's going on, you know what I mean? And that's when I really, 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 really got inundated with the Jamaican culture. That's where dances, basement parties, sound system, all of that was the starting point right there for me.
At 14?
Yeah, 13 to 14, yeah. That was really my starting point.
Did you have a plan? Like, I'm going to get out of here? How was I going to get out of here? How did you have a plan?
Plan? Listen, one thing, if you know me good, I'm not really a planner. My wife, she's the planner. I'm more the doer. We'll do it until we figure it out along the way. She'll come up with a plan, but me, I'm a doer. So my thing was always, I just wanted to explore, see what was out there, understand what was out there, see what I could get myself into. You know what I mean?
Was there anybody in the community other than your family and your sister and your aunt that helped you?
If I said no, that would be a lie. I've always had a good support system, whether they were right beside me or 6 separations, I've always had a good support system around me, from family, friends, strangers, all type of people. So I'd say, yeah, I had a lot of help along the way.
You had a lot of help a lot of way. Like you're very community orientated.
Mhm.
To me, anyways. You're
Okay.
very kind of like I would say Face, but a lot of these people wouldn't know who Face is, you know. Your
Yeah,
involvement in the community. At what age did you begin to hustle?
buddy, we were
And
doing
when
it
I
way
say
before.
hustle, people, I don't mean sell drugs or
No, no,
anything
hustle.
like that. But when
We're
did
talking
you?
about cutting grass from we were like,
Yeah.
we would go to people's house, knock on their door, and ask them if they wanted their grass cut. But the only thing, they had to have the lawnmower. So we'd cut the grass with their lawnmower. So we're doing that from like shoveling snow. This is like when I got the gun now. So this is like 12, 13. Hustling right away, right out the gate. You know what I mean?
Okay. So you already knew about money and changes and
You
all of
had
that.
to you had to figure it out. It wasn't something that was taught. You said, hey, this and this equals this. You had to figure it out. You looked, you saw what other people were doing, and you tried and tried, failed, tried it, succeed, tried, failed, tried. You know what I mean?
What would you say was your first real business?
My first real business would have been real business. Okay, then let's fast forward to when I was 21, to when I started to sell cassettes. That would be in 1996. That was the first
That was
real
what you that
business.
was the one that you registered, or
Yeah.
that's the
No,
one
that
that you registered.
was.
All right, because I can remember when you
Mhm.
actually sold flags and whistles
But that
and
was, remember,
Caravana. I remember that Caravana.
this is all after the fact. When I was selling the flags and the whistles, I was selling cassettes at those times too. It's the
You were?
cassettes that got me to Caravana. Selling cassettes at
Okay.
Caravana, then you'll sell the flags, the whistles, the whatever other Caravana paraphernalia. That's what
Okay.
got me there. Was the
All right.
actual
That's good to know
music
because
got
I
me there.
didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. When did you move? What moved you from on the street out of the back of your car, wherever you were selling, to Malvern Mall?
Even that's a you have to, okay, you might not even know that was a process, because before we were at Malvern Mall, we had our another store by Kingston Road and Galloway beside the original Sunrise. So it was Sunrise at the end, us in the middle with the music store, and Cut Above right
And cut
beside us.
above at the other side.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
true. You did have
yeah.
a store there. Listen, my
Mhm.
mind is a little bit foggy, and that's why
It's
you're here
okay.
to
It's
remind
okay.
me of all of these kind of things. See?
Mhm. Yeah.
All right. At what point did you decide to while you were at Malvern Mall, how did you get that going?
That was more or less like, because as I said, we had the store already. So we got to Malvern Mall in October 2002. So then this means we were 6 years into business already, because we started from 96.
Hmm.
So it was basically a plug and play. Once we got there, people knew you as the person in the dances selling the cassettes. They knew
Right.
you on the road selling the CDs. They knew you had your other location. So it was something where it was just plug and play, where you open up 10 a.m. that day and it was on and popping because
That's
people
right.
knew already. Yeah.
All right. Okay, but you also did promotions,
Yeah.
right? You also
Mhm.
did promotions. What made you go into promotions?
That was probably another part of the hustle, experiment, understand, be self-sufficient. Another part of what I've done, you know what I mean, where we promoted stuff like parties, we've done plays, we've done concerts, we've done clash, we've done, you basically name it, I promoted it. But it was part of what I do. Because remember, at that time there too, I was playing sound at that time there too, when I first started promotion. So it was promote yourself, because nobody's gonna come promote you. You know what I mean?
What was your most profitable event?
The most profitable event that we seen money right away was when we did Bashman Granny 2. We made money instantly.
Instantly.
Instantly. Instantly. And the funny thing with it, we've only did that play one time. It was one weekend, November 2009. We did it for a weekend, and that was the only time we ever did it because it was really an experiment. Because being at Malvern Town Center now, everybody's asking, hey, do you have Bashment Granny 2? Do you have Bashment Granny 2? Do you have Bashment Granny 2? I said, no. I picked up Bashment Granny 1. I looked at the back of it. There was a phone number. I called the phone number, having no idea how to run a play. They gave me a price. We figured it out. 2 Tuesdays were here. We made money right away.
Wow. What other plays did you do? Were you involved in?
That was, as a promoter, that was the only one that I actually promoted. But when it came to like the Oliver Mother's Day and all that stuff there, I helped on the back end with the marketing and stuff like that. But as in our team to say, okay,
yes,
we're putting it together, we're signing contracts, we're bringing in, we're booking places, Bashment Granny was the only one that we did.
Did you do any comedy shows?
Comedy shows, yes. I've worked, me personally, no, but I work closely with Juice Comedy, which they did a lot of stuff with White Yachty, Major Hype, Tricks, Michael Blackson, Ray Ray, Bam Bam Bam. Work closely, very closely with them.
Yes, because I saw you doing some advertising for that, and that's why I asked and stuff. Back in the days when you were promoting, who was the hot sound that you had to have on your dance where you know say I go ram your party them, you have to have a selector there, pay a dance for ram your party. Who was that
If we're
sound?
talking earlier, that would be the King Turbos. They were really running the place at that time. They're the early part. And when it started to come down a bit more, you needed to have like a Black Reaction or one of those guys. Those were who the people were really requesting when I was doing a lot of parties at that time. And then Fire Kid came in too when he left Fresh and on his own.
What
That
year?
was
What
really the
years were
first.
those? What years were those?
You see, this, you know why this is funny to me? I'm
Right.
always up to, even last night I was asking, man, hey, what year was that? Like he's supposed to know. And I'm sitting here now, okay, I have my anniversary, 2000, and we were talking, doing parties, because I was even doing a Sunday night rumors. This was late 90s, early 2000s. You know what I mean? That's who was running. The King Turbo started off, then Black Reaction came in, picked up the whip. And then Blacks, Dice Lock, everybody else really came into the mix at that time.
You know what I remembered about going to parties in those days was that there was sometimes the party them would a mash up,
Yeah.
fight broke out and all of this kind of stuff. And I remember that Musclehead party them always have what?
Yeah.
Police at the door. How
Yeah.
important was security to your promotion?
Very much so, because you have to remember, it's not like I'm going to keep this stance. Well, okay, well, especially when it came to later on. It's not like you're going to keep this dance and then disappear. Nobody's going to see it for you 6 months later. You're keeping a dance on a Saturday night, and by Sunday morning, you're back in the mall doing whatever. My sister is there, and you'll see me back Monday. So you have to make sure that you're protecting your investment, which is the people that's investing in you, and also the venue. So you got to make sure, listen, as long as they come, have fun with you, spend, and everything is good, you got to make sure they're good. So security was A1, very important, extremely important. You know what I mean?
That's good. Sorry, I have this question that I want to ask you before I even go any further. It's one that I ask of all my guests, and I would definitely want to hear your answer. What does reggae mean to you?
Reggae means to me, reggae is my backbone, basically, when it came to even business, what I'm doing. Because even if we're going to say this, I have like the Entertainment Report podcast. And like, yeah, it's my thing is from pastors to porn stars and everything in between, but with a heavy dose of reggae. You know what I mean? Reggae is the one. When I went into the streets, it was a reggae man that came and showed me what was going on. So reggae means a lot to me. A lot. You know what I mean? A lot.
If you were to put it in one word, what would that word be? It's a hard one.
A lot?
Yeah. A lot?
A lot?
A lot
Yeah.
is 2 words.
We're going to hyphenate it and bring it into one.
But you know me. I love sound system culture. I love it. You know, I remember when all you guys used to keep parties in your basements and
Mm-hmm.
even come in my basement because the system
Mm-hmm.
is in my basement and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. Seen? So what I want to know, a lot of people outside of the city don't know that Muscle had a sound system. A lot of people outside of
Mm-hmm.
don't know that you had a sound system. What was the name of that sound system? And who was on the song?
Radication. We started that song in 1990, and it was originally myself, Mikey Dread, Junior, Wanga, Randy Savage. Who else was on the song at that? Kwame, and I think there might have been Ringo or Herbie. There was a couple of us, well, but who was, because at that time, there 1990 is when you're changing from DJing on sound to now the juggling. So we had a bit of the old school. You're gonna have people come DJ around the song, but then we were also going into the juggling realm at that time there too. So then our artists was like Herbie, Dan, and Wanga and them on there. So yeah, that was the real crew right there.
That's a lot of people, Sheldon.
Yeah, but you have to remember at that you look back at it. When you think about 1990, think back about 1989, 88 coming up. When you see a song system like, say, King Jammies, there was a bag of people around there. So you had the selectors, but then you had the artists also. So then that's how we would function as a song with selectors. I was selecting, Mikey Dread was selecting, Junior was the boss, Randy Savage was around there. Those were the main selectors. But when it came to people DJing on the song, as in chanting, that was like Ringo or Herbie Dunn and those men there.
Cool, cool, cool. Was Radication a recognized sound in the city? Did people like recognize it as
I
a
would
sound that they would put on their flyer that they would run to the dance there? Did you guys accomplish much?
we would say because we primarily because I was on the song from 1990 to 96. When it came to a lot of the Jane and Finch, yes. Anything that west side there, yes. When it came to bits and pockets of Scarborough, yes. But we never really made it that huge song. My real plan was this. I said, okay, how do I really get into the industry the real and proper way? I said, okay, I'm going to turn around. My real way in was selling music. So then, okay, you're gonna sell music. Everybody's gonna know you. So then you're gonna come back and play a song, and everything is gonna be great. But then after I really got into the music, it's like I never really got back into the song. We started to cut dubs 1 and 2 times, enter clashes 1 and 2, but I've never really got back into it.
So did you take part in any of the Ron Nelson productions? Which ones?
We did Fully Loaded. We did one of the Fully Loadeds or 2 of them. I think it might have been 2 of them. We did a statement and we did something. We did about 4 Ron Nelson dances,
How were those? How was it working with Ron Nelson?
At that time there, okay, let me even go back even further. Ron was one of those people that I could call anytime and ask a bag of questions because that's always me. I always wanted to know. So Ron was always one of those people there. Me and Ron at one point were really cool. You know what I mean? Like it was almost like a mentor mentee type of situation at one time. So at that time it was okay. It's like, if I'm going to give you full disclosure, right now, me and Ron Nelson haven't been on talk in terms for about 10 years now.
Come here, wonder why you not interview him yet.
Yeah, that's the truth. I don't want to come on here and give you the politically correct. And again, it's nothing where I would interview somebody like Ron because Ron said it. Most of us that's listened to reggae, as in when we were kids coming up, it was because of Ron Nelson. Ron started out with hip hop, and then when he switched to reggae, all of us switched to reggae also. You know what I mean? So working with Ron back then was cool. It was no problem. It was 1-2. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you got to think about concert all days and us coming on the blue light bus from way downtown all the way home at nighttime. We're coming from Ron Nelson Jam. So
yes,
I have to ask because, Ron is important. And while we're there, I'm just going to ask you this question. If we were going to have, which we should, it's definitely something I'm looking into. So all of you with your donkey ears running to go steal this idea, Go ahead. That's why I'm chat it. If there was a Canada Hall of Fame,
Okay.
who would be the first inductee that you would put in the Canada Sound System Culture Hall of Fame?
Sound system. Oh, that's wide because we could go back to like the early upsetters, the early Barry culture when your uncle was actually playing it. We could go back to the Black Roots. There's a what area are we talking about here?
We're talking about the Hall of Fame. We're talking about the Hall of Fame. So that is from the start, from the upsetters, the all of them.
I got a
You
good
would
one
put,
for you.
say I put 25
Mhm. Mhm.
people that has contributed to sound system culture in Toronto, not necessarily soundman, but who has contributed for the building blocks of the reggae, dancehall sound system culture that we have right here in Canada in the six. Who would be your first inductee? Without being politically
Okay.
correct. Remember, you got 25 spaces, so the first one don't matter.
Most likely to be 100% unbiased, most likely somebody like Rod Nelson, to tell you the God's honest truth. You
You
know what I
have
mean?
to.
Yeah, to tell you the
You
God's
can't have
honest,
a Hall of
without
Fame and not put Ron Nelson there.
he's done a lot. He's done a humongous amount for the city when it came to reggae, when it came to hip hop, when it came to sound clash culture. Ron has done. Yeah, okay. Again, since we're being open and honest, sometimes Ron could rub you the wrong friggin' way.
I'm
You
to
see what I'm
tell
saying?
you, you're not
Yeah,
ask me.
yeah,
When I ask Christ.
yeah. But if you know how to deal with Ron,
Don't let it
everything is
bother
okay.
you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But he would have to be, whether he was number 1 or number 25 in there, he would
Exactly.
have to be in there. There's no doubt about that. You know what I mean? None at all.
That's cool. But I am looking into hearing from people. I'm gonna do some here. I want you to ask when you run into these Canadian sound system men on your podcast. I want you to ask so I can keep a log of
Okay.
everybody. Somebody in the comments said Barry culture. One said upsetter. You know, there's a few people here that need to be recognized. We have to give them flowers. No,
Of course.
and let's not wait to make it into a REIT. So big up everybody in the comments right now. Big up Miss Banks, big up Jenny Grant, big up King Klepto Rich Kid, big up Sniper, big up Gucci Matic, big up all of the massive them Jawix were tuning in and crime and the rest of the massive them. Some of the names them I can't see, because I am on YouTube. So I can't see the names. It's only saying like Facebook user on some forums. So I'm sorry about that. But big up everybody for tuning in. I thank y'all for your support. Do share and subscribe to the channel. Okay. Thank you for commenting on all of these big things. Somebody else says Grandmaster Rosa and all of the people there. There's a few people that need to be that's why I absolutely love the show that Pablo them did with the generations with Upsetter and them. That was a very good look. But did you do any clashes? Did you promote any clashes, Musclehead?
We did 2 of them. Those were the funny thing with it. Now I actually get to tell this story. One of the first clashes that we promoted was a clash called 45 Blaze Out. This was 2002, like April or something. What we did was take every selector off of their sound, or if you're a solo selector. So it was King Sharp from Desert Storm, Lindo P. Those times I think he might have been on Heatwave, or he might have been playing by himself, so we took him by himself. Newbie, we took off a Rebel Tone, so he was by himself. And it was supposed to be Fire Kid, but I don't remember what reason Fire Kid didn't show up. But in that class there, that was the year that Newbie took everything. We were the one that gave him the first trophy in 2002, and everything took off from there. him winning the 45 Blaze Out at the beginning of the year and him ending up winning World Clash at the end of the year. That all happened in that same year there.
That same space.
That same year.
He elevated in the business in 1 year.
Yeah, in one boss, I'm telling you, it was like either March or April. We kept that. He won it. And remember, if you guys, I'm not sure if you guys even know, in 2002, these times Newbie wasn't, he was a selector, then MC. Not an MC, then a selector. He would barely talk. But you see, that night there, he surprised the whole of us. So we said, okay, that you can bad. You know what I mean? From that night there. And from there, he cleaned up everything that year. Everything.
Why did you stop doing clashes?
It wasn't a stop or start. It was, again, that's just a part of the journey. It was, okay, let me promote. Okay, try a clash here, a play there, a stage show there, a couple dances here. It was nothing. We never had a series besides every Sunday night, the Hot and Sexy Sundays, where it was like, okay, this is what I want to do. My thing has always been entertainment. You understand? Whether it's we're promoting a clown today or a sound clash tomorrow, it's always been entertainment.
Sniper said that Newbie was always an MC.
The funny thing, okay, go back, think about what I'm going to say to you. We're talking about 19 years ago. Think about the Newbie back then to what you know Newbie to be then. He was selector first, MC second.
He said that military bus rebel tone. Big up yourself, Miss Banks. Thanks for the compliment. But everybody back then, everybody nowadays, I hear talking about Zone 1. It's as if they talk about Zone 1 like how Americans talk about the Biltmore era, and all of that kind of stuff. So it's like Zone 1, it was like the arena to be in back then. Don't it? I hear everybody bigging up their chest. Me kill this one as Zone 1. Me use this, kill this one as Zone 1. Sharp was here on Rebel's Voice. He was talking about his experience on Zone 1. I'm sure say anybody else that I bring here is gonna talk about their experience about at Zone 1. Would you say you were there to observe and you have an understanding before we even go into the Zone 1 question? Were you there at the Zone 1 era? Can you give us your unbiased opinion of the Zone 1 era?
Of course I can. We actually clashed in Zone 1. We clashed in Zone 1. We probably juggled in Zone 1, and we went to Zone 1 as just normal people to go take in parties, stages, and clash. So definitely know about Zone 1. Zone 1 wasn't a pretty place inside or outside, depending on the night. You know what I mean? Zone 1 was a quite interesting place, to say the least.
Who are the main players at Zone 1? Who are the main players?
Those times when you'd go in Zone 1, you'd always see like a Polly. You'd see, I think Rich Kid was around those times there too. You'd see Fabo. You would see Gary, Danny. Who else would you see in Zone 1? That was...
Give me some soul name, because the people them recognize soul name. We want hear like King Klepto.
Okay, well, King Klepto, that was singer. That was Polly and Richie. Even before King Klepto, G Unit time, that's when you'd see him. You'd see White Boy around there too, because he was doing a lot of stuff there too. You know who came in there with Fabo too? Wiz came in there with Fabo also. So as in sounds, those were who you would see in there also.
Which Wiz?
Wiz, he came in there with Fabo. Yeah.
Big up Wiz, yeah. Can't hear the music.
Listen.
So those were the only people. There was no Desert Storm. The stories that everybody is telling. Wagwan as Zone 1.
No, but you're asking me. Listen, from what I understand, what you're asking me is who I see. When it came to, those were like the home sounds. As in, when you go in, you would always see Polly was always there with King Clapton. You would always see a White Boy there. You would always see a Wiz there with Fabo there. That's who you would see. But if you're talking about the dances now, or the clashes, Of course, we were at the Desert Storm versus Rootsman, where they broke through the chant and tore off Rootsman's face in that round there. We were there. We were there when the Super Freshes, when Prophet got wicked on people. We were there when Black Reaction, Black Sim. We were there for all of the big songs that was in there. You know what I mean? The Black Reaction, the Turbos, when Jaro came, when Sound Trooper was there, when Tasha, you name it, we seen it all inside of Zone 1.
Who would you say, like what role would you say that the newbies and the Rangers play in building some of the sound system culture history?
For sure. They were thinner. They were like that. Okay, the first early 90s would have been like the King Turbo, the Red Flames, the Soul Actions, and all of those stuff there. The second crop that came after that, like the mid 90s, would have been the Super Freshes, the Black Reactions, and those type of songs there. The third crop now that came like in the early 2000s part would have been the Rebel Tones, the Rootsman, the Klepto really started to really develop at that time there. So, excuse me, they definitely played their part. And by the time the Rootsman and the Rebel Tones really became mature, that's when people really started to see that, okay, something is really happening in Canada. They knew that stuff was happening in Canada from in the early 90s with the Turbo and stuff, but the really was when the Rootsmans became mature, when the Rebel Tones became mature, because now was when we really had the internet really started to come into our life. So people really got to look around, because before that, it was a cassette. So if you didn't hear it on a cassette, in your mind, it didn't exist. You know what I mean?
I hear you on that. So by the time it was about getting the content out, there was no content from Canada prior to these guys.
I'm glad you brought that up. No, there was content. We were recording dances because that's what I used to do, to record dances. We were recording dances from about 1996 till about 2002, 3, 4, somewhere around there. But the trick with it, you're on cassettes and you have it. When you go to New York and you go link up with certain man, they didn't want it, but the only time they would accept them was if it would be a Desert Storm, Black Cat and Diplomat, Black Reaction, Jaro and somebody. That's how they got in. But we always had the dances. So then I seen a narrative where people like to say, oh, the Canadian sounds don't have out no audio. No, that's not true. When we had the audio outs, when soundclash.com was around, when soundclashrus.com, when early dancehallreggae.com, we were there, but people weren't looking. It's now fast forward 15, 20 years now, is when they're saying, oh, where's the audio for all that? They're around. You just have to look for them now. But we were all there. We put out all of that because we wanted people to know we were here. As Canadians, we're here. That's how Desert Storm got to Global Clash. That's how Super Fresh got to Global Clash, because of cassettes and putting out the audio. So they've been there. They've always been there.
Where can we find them? Do you have like a library of cassettes that you had that didn't sell back in the day?
I have one of every cassette, CD, and DVD I've ever sold. You understand?
Where you store them there? How many was your wife? No want them there in the house. Where do you store those muscles?
If I wasn't here, I would have shown you the room where they are, and you'd understand. Bags upon bags upon bags, shelf upon shelf, crate upon crate, closet upon closet of audio. They're there. But to tell you the truth, I know the files are online somewhere. They're very scattered. You would get them online, because as I said, we used to load up. Those times, I think Jill had soundclash.com, and Riders, that used to be in Bermuda, he was soundclashrus.com, and Scrappy Dancehall Reggae. So they were all loaded there, but then those sites got disbanded. So they're around online somewhere. Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about Chin, Irish and Chin's influence? Do you think that it influenced the sound clash culture in the 60s?
Of course, 100%. You see, okay, we're going to talk about this.
Yep.
With Irish and Chin, what they were doing, or what they've done for the culture, is undeniable. All right. But this is where the Canadians and Chin have a love-hate relationship.
Why?
What he does, we love what he does, but you see, sometimes the attitude behind it is what the people don't like. Canadians and Americans are two completely different people. So you see, when Chin comes with his brashness, we don't like that. You understand? And then that's where we start to get like this. But what he has done for the industry, we rate that 100%. But it's the that we didn't like, and that's
What
where
has
the
Chin done?
love-hate relationship. What do you mean? What he's thing there?
I mean, in our culture, in over here in Canada, how did he influence? What did he do to cause influence, to create influence?
Remember, we got the thing there. It was either we got Canada World Clash first before Jamaica. So then, and especially remember those times when you say World Clash. Back then, you're talking about something where people are driving 8 hours to come to this thing, because that was world class. So we got it. So then, has he put in his work, especially when he was first linking up with Ron Nelson? Yeah, of course they put in their work. You know what I mean? But to say that you were the only one that put in work, no. That would be like Christopher Columbus saying that he discovered Canada while we were here already. You understand? But of course they put in their work. Of course they put in their work. That would be just like me coming up here and saying Ron Nelson hasn't done anything just because we're not seeing eye to eye. You understand? Everybody's putting their work, but the love-hate relationship with Chin, not even Irish, because nobody's seen Irish per se. He's a ghost. All right. The love-hate relationship, I think, is definitely from the brashness. Me. We didn't like that, but we liked the work that you did. But one thing that he did say, which was true, but I see that a year or two later that it changed, was when he went on the radio. I think it was either last year, and he said, "I'm putting Canada on the table." And you know what? At that point there, we deserved it. And let me tell you why. We didn't have any platforms at that time there. Nobody was really pushing a platform. You see, whoever has the mic has the argument. Chin had the mic, so he had the argument. Fast forward a year later, 2 years later, things are changing. So he's not the only one with the mic. So when he picks up his mic and says what he's saying, guess what? Even if we just have this, we might only have this much people, listen to us. But we now have a mic where we can pick up and say, hey, what you're saying is not 100% true. Or we don't agree with what you're saying, because now you're not the only one with the mic. But again, that goes to say that that's the American brashness, and us as Canadians, we don't function at. But we deserve to get kicked in our teeth when we didn't have no platform. You understand? When we were just waiting. Of course, we were just waiting for other people,
waiting to be called on.
Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? We're waiting for somebody to come hold our hand. But guess what? So then when our teeth get kicked out, there's nobody to complain to. We made that happen. You understand? But fast forward now, we're a bit better right now. But big up Irish and Chin. I have nothing against him, because guess what? We have microphones on, so you understand?
Straight. It's your platform.
Yeah.
You do what you do. I saw it go.
You have the mic, you have the talk.
Do you feel that Canada deserves more respect under the national?
What do you mean by that? More respect in which way?
Do you think that our sounds deserve more respect? And the reason why I'm asking this question is because usually online, sometimes it's like they act like Canada don't have a structure.
Okay.
Like we don't have foundation sounds, and we don't have like big sound men, like what they would call, like Americans would say them of the King of D's, and they have the Soul Supreme. But then they act like Canada don't, to me anyways, they act like Canada don't stand up to those sounds, or the UK don't stand up to those sounds. But there's actually bad sounds everywhere. There's bad sounds in Canada so what I'm asking you is, do you think that we don't get the respect that we deserve in the arena?
I think if you'd asked me this probably 10 years ago, I would say no, there is no respect. Ask me this now in 2021, the respect isn't 100%, but it's way more than what it was before. And what it is a lot of the power sounds that we had, because remember, at one point our power sounds were like the King Turbos, the Black Reaction, the Super Freshes. Those were the foundations. And then again, the Rootsman and all the Rebel Tones and all those guys came after. They didn't get to experience those sounds, so they didn't get to really understand. Because if you remember, Chin himself said, yo, may I listen Super Fresh from me a youth? He said that. He came up here and said that. What do you think he was coming to Canada and listening to Super Fresh? He was getting the audio. So he knew he was plugged in, but a lot of other people, you have to remember, if you have the Addies, the LP, the Poison Darts, and all of these big sounds, you're not looking outside of Canada. You're only looking to Jamaica at that time there. Nobody's looking. You're in the States and you're looking towards Jamaica. You understand? We're us here now. We were doing the same, but now we've all matured. Of course, we're getting our respect. It's not 100%, but we're way better than we were before.
So you'll take that. You take the way better than before.
Way better. Way better than before. Way better. We still didn't reach the 100%. You have to remember something too. Our way of playing sound, even if it's in clash and stuff like, is we are not as a people, we're not as aggressive as the Americans. That's why you wouldn't hear us. You wouldn't hear so much about us as you would hear of the Americans, because that's just not how our country is. That's why even if you look at the UK,
the sound man them aggressive right now.
We're getting there. We're getting there. We still didn't reach when a baby face and Mataran would come into your town and wipe the floor with you. We're getting there, you know. We're getting there. We're really close. You know what I mean? We're really close, but I don't think we've crossed that threshold yet. When a Puma and Starfish would come into town and shake up everybody, we're super close, but I don't think that we've 100% crossed that threshold yet.
Who would you say is Canada Defender? Do we have somebody right now that can stand up to a Soul Supreme, stand up to a King Addies? Who has the dub box? Who's Canada? Because everybody said I'm a Canada Defender, you know. But the reality is, which one of them have the dub box to actually defend Canada?
Okay. I got a good one for you. Does a dub box really even matter in 2021? Because dubs are accessible to everybody right now. So it's no longer the dubs, it's now presentation. You understand? That's what it comes down to, because even the great super King Addies that would put fear in people's heart. Now you have certain sound that's going around King Addies with all of these dubs in their box. You understand? So it's no longer a thing there. It's presentation now.
We're going to talk about that off the air. But yes, it's presentation. So who do you think would be Canada's defender?
Who the people that are gravitating to 100% right now, no bias, and I'm going to say this right here on your platform, is Polly, 100%. It's who the people that are on a worldwide scale, who the people are gravitating towards right now is Polly famous. You know, I'll go as far as, I'm not sure if they're gravitating towards Klepto as much as they are gravitating towards Polly famous right now.
Are you saying that Polly is like a generic name, a name brand right now, that any sound him go on, the crowd are gonna follow him?
I wouldn't go that far, because remember, he did the LPs, he did the one a days, and then he came back home to Klepto. I think right now where you're gonna get the best out of Polly would be on a Klepto, because that's where he fits best. You understand? But remember, it's now, at one time you'd say like King Klepto and Polly Rich and whoever else is there. But right now, from my point of view, I could only speak from my point of view. It seems like Polly and King Klepto, not King Klepto and Polly. Polly seems to be that personality that people are gravitating towards right now.
And you think that's what's necessary in order to be Canada's defender?
Right now, you need, there's a couple elements. You have to have that personality, yes, but then after the personality, you have to have presentation. That's where, don't get it twisted, there's still the newbies, there's still the Rangers, there's still the Prophet and Freshem, there's still the Pablo and Soul Survival, there's still so much of them, but it's just the front runner right now, Polly. I gotta keep it from my vantage point. I gotta just say that.
But with that being said, Polly being the forerunner and everything right now, would you say, you just listed a slew of Salmon, would you say that Canada has its own dinosaurs?
Of course we do.
Of course we do. Who are they, Sheldon?
Our dinosaurs would be, I like that one there. Our dinosaurs is King Turbo when they're clicking. Well, no, fuck it. They put down their thing here. They put in their history already. The King Turbo is our dinosaur.
Wait, hold up. Irks for a second. I don't want the sounds as the dinosaurs. I want the person as the dinosaur.
Person as a dinosaur.
Yes, not the sound.
You see, this is where, nah, man, I could give you sound because especially when it came from.
No.
You see, this is where I take back control and I go back on the other side of the screen.
This is where I gotta remember that you have a podcast, that you got a podcast to deal with after. Because that sound can't be a dinosaur sound. You have to be a person.
Listen, okay.
I wrote down a list.
Okay. You know what? Even better. Let me agree or disagree with your list.
I knew you would do that, Sheldon. Okay. I knew you would do that. So I wrote down a list. All I want is for you to let me know if you agree.
Okay, fair enough.
Will you at least for that?
100%.
The Rebel's voice is supposed to chat it like it is. But anyways, you're going to have work next week. So we got to stay, politically correct in some areas.
To a level.
Mm-hmm. I don't know everything about sound system culture. I'm a fan of the thing.
Okay.
So I can say that from what I feel, how they as a selector make me feel, because the music make the audience feel. I would say, I'm gonna care who and drape me up tomorrow. I hope you guys still come on my show next week. I would say it's Skinny.
1000%.
I would say Alan Ladd.
Are we talking Clash or Juggling, or what are we talking about here?
But that's a dinosaur.
Okay.
Dinosaur, period. Agree. Because guess what? You have to be versatile, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that Alan Ladd at this point can still bring it.
Yeah, 100% agree.
I see it that, to me, Alan Ladd is my Tony Mataran.
Yeah.
That's to me.
Laddie, I'm a daddy. Big time.
A lot of you guys probably won't agree with me, but I love me some Ricky Turbo.
Listen, if anybody disputed what Ricky has done in the business, it's just they're disputing it based on what they think of Ricky right now. You can't erase certain things out of history. Ricky put in his freaking work, bro. You know what I mean? Ricky put in his work, boss. Are we vibing with Ricky now? That's debatable. Did Ricky put in his work? Hell yeah. You know what I mean? Hell yeah. Dinosaur, you know what? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. You know what I mean?
Newbie?
100%.
Somebody said Lindo P.
Lindo goes even higher on that list than most people even realize.
The thing about, how high do you think?
Lindo is, when it comes to raw talent alone, he's number one on that list. When it comes to raw talent, nobody could do what that guy has done talent-wise. Now, as in somebody that puts in work in the arena, that's now where everything, we start to have a conversation, you know what I mean? Because remember, Lindo did the Heat Waves, he did the Jock Creations, he did the original Flames. Yeah. So him, 100%.
So Lindo, 100%. Put Newbie on that list?
Of course. Even though Newbie is of the 2000 crop, he would definitely have to go on that list because he was the one that really brought that trophy home. Like it, hate it or not. He was the one that brought it home.
Brought 7. He brought 7 trophies home.
100%. You know what I mean? 100%.
He brought 7 trophies home. So I think that Canada definitely have dinosaurs, and that we need to big them up more times.
How you missing Rose and them on them?
Rose and them Monday at the like right angle at the building.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? You can't call them the Monday you put in the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
You know, those men, they don't make them like that no more.
No way.
You get what I'm saying? So those are like the building fixtures and stuff like that. To me, anyways, I don't know about you.
I agree.
Do you mentor? Do you mentor young people?
Not directly per se, or if it's somebody has a question, they call and ask. But a lot of it, I guess, is from a distance. A lot of people say, "Hey, I've known you from I seen what you're doing from us 15. They're now 28 with your own family." From that type of way, but no as in, "Hey, I have a mentorship program. You guys come in, it will cost you $100 a week and we'll take you." No. We don't have none of that though.
What advice would you give some young people entering the media business, the sound system culture aspect, blogging, all that kind of stuff?
That's be you. That's what I would say. Be 100% you. And it doesn't matter what field you're going in, what they look like, what they talk like, what they act like. Be 100% you in whatever field you're going into.
So we're going to take a pause for a second and run a commercial for a quick minute, if that's okay with you.
No problem.
That's okay with the people that pay for them commercials.
Mm-hmm.
So let's run the commercial.
Run it.
Get ready to pack your coolers and roll out with your friends. On Saturday, May 29th, the Lion Center gets turned up as Coalition Entertainment and AI Rentals are going to take you to the next level. Next Level is K-Man's ultimate summer kickoff cooler event featuring the best in 90s and early 2000s hip-hop, dancehall, and soca. With music by Coalition Sound with DJ Lynn, Scatter Hyde, and DJ Nico. Sound Revolution, Adam Force, DJ Joshy Vibes, and Select the Renegade. Ladies, roll out early. Doors open at 7 p.m. Must be 21 to party. You can purchase your tickets exclusively on eventpro.ky. Tickets are limited due to COVID restrictions. Special early bird tickets only $20 till May 1st. Pre-sold tickets are available for only $25 or $35 at the gate. You can meet me at the party. Saturday, May 29th. It's time to take it to the next level.
What's going on with you nowadays, Sheldon? What are you doing nowadays?
Nowadays, podcasting, marketing and podcasting is really my daytime thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's what I do all day, every day right now. That's why right now we are in the studio right now. When I'm done with you, we have some people coming in to record their episode too. So we're here working, making it happen, running a podcast studio, podcasting ourselves, marketing and promotion for products, places, and services. You know what I mean?
So I seen you announce on your IG that you are getting endorsements. Let us hear something about this drunken endorsement from Jerry and his nephew.
Yeah, this is. I didn't open the box yet, but if you can see it properly, this is here with. Let me give you a sneak peek. I don't even know what's in it.
What is that? Is that a rum?
Listen. You gotta wait till I do the unboxing. All right.
Sure.
The unboxing video is coming. The unboxing video should be out next week, but definitely, I gotta say a big shout out to our new sponsors and our partners, which is Ray and Nephew. We just announced a partnership last week. We got a lot of good stuff coming. Look out for it, you know what I mean? But definitely, I'm so happy to be working with a company like Ray and Nephew.
You get free rum for being a sponsor. I just ask you, come on, know where to go. Hey.
We're professionals out here. We don't kiss and tell, man.
I'm me for tell you. But what else? I seen you advertising some young ladies podcast. Are you like do it? What are you branching off?
If I'm doing which one?
Are you branching off? Are you like endorsing or promoting some other podcasts?
They record. Hold on 1 second.
Allow to you, Mike.
You could hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay.
Big up John Frost from Little Thunder. He has a show called The Hot Topic on every Sunday. So tune into that. It's a good vibe over there. Me over there all the time. So make sure that you guys look into that. And anything goes on every Wednesday on IG. Gonna check that out. Just follow Little Thunder on IG for notification. Big up on yourself. Thanks for checking in.
Right now, as I was telling you earlier, it's a thing there. I have a podcast studio, so then people are recording. So again, you're recording here. I'm gonna give you the strength on Instagram or wherever I can, because you're taking care of me. I'm taking care of you. So right now we have about beauty and business city lounge. We have about 4 or 5 people that we're working with right now when it comes to podcast episodes and stuff. We actually have a cooking show that we filmed last week that should be out in a couple of weeks also.
Okay, so you're doing big things over there in the studio. You're doing the production part of the things over there. What else can we expect from Musclehead? Because it never ends with you. If people only know what I know, it never ends.
But you see, that's why I can't tell you what's next, because what you're saying is 100% right. You see, the thing with me, I love what I do. I don't like what I do, you know. I love what I do. So anything is next. 3 years ago, I didn't really even know what the hell a podcast was. A pod who? Or what that? Or what name so? You know what I mean? And then, but here we are now, you know what I mean? Doing what we do, and I'm still loving it because it's entertainment. I love entertainment. I love this.
Who are some of your favorite guests on your podcast?
I knew you were. The funny thing with it, it's taking a shower today, and I said, I know to God, this is going to be one of your questions. I knew it.
You know, someone to write it down, but it was it was just at the top of my head.
I knew it. I knew you were going to ask. I don't know how to explain it. This is what I could tell you. There was probably 3 episodes that I did that I don't ever want to record with those people again. And it was just like pulling.
What happened?
No, it was just like pulling teeth. It's like you know you're here to have a conversation, though, right? Say that again.
I said you know that you're there to talk. I'm not ask you what them name. I'm not gonna ask you that.
No. That I wouldn't say that. But there's about 3 people. I wouldn't.
Sniper said, call name. Are you in my talk, Sniper?
Listen, let me tell you something with me. I'm not afraid to say what I'm saying if it's true and it's appropriate. I don't think it's appropriate right now.
Harm. You know, you're not willfully out there trying to cause harm to anybody.
If it was appropriate, I'd say, just like when you asked me, you never asked me if me and Ron Nelson are on terms. You didn't ask me. I told you that. You understand? Because it was appropriate for that thing there, but you had to give him his respect too. Just because we're not talking doesn't mean that there's certain things you haven't done. Me and Ricky is not on nothing, but you still have to give him his respect. You understand? No, man, I would say what I need to say, but there's no need to say that. But back to the question was, every episode has memorable things in it that I enjoyed. I really enjoy talking to people. I like, especially when they sit down in the studio and you have a conversation and I'm looking at you and you're looking at me and we're having a conversation. Nothing beats that. But there's been a lot. Master T was a big one for me because, again, a lot of people, I'm not sure what your audience is like, but a lot of people outside of Canada might not even know who Master T is. But Master T is somebody we used to run home to after school to watch on TV. This man had every single artist you could think about, from Beyonce right back down to Beanie Man on his show. and you
To
had
Lauren
run home to
Hill,
watch it
to,
again.
to, to Lauren Hill live.
Boss, you would run home. So to have him, and it took me a year to get Master T2 back and forth, to have him in the studio and then the conversation we had off the air, that's definitely one of my memorable ones. There's so much of them. We're up to episode 183, 4, or 5 right now, something like that. So there's a lot of them.
When did you start make money off it? That's important too.
Okay, since we're going to be honest, we're speaking honestly, that was never I've always been making money off of social media. I've signed multiple $1,000 contracts off my Instagram and stuff like that already. You know what I mean? So I've always been making money off social media, but directly, it hasn't been until probably the last year I started making direct money off of YouTube. But besides that, I've been making money off of social media. Been.
Different kind of ways.
Yeah, been. It's usually there's either upfront or there's going to be the back end where somebody's going to, a corporation or somebody's going to come to you say, hey, I see what you're doing. I like what you're doing. Could you do the same thing for me? Okay, that's going to be XYZ. We sign on a line. We get it going. Been.
Everything is a business too.
Business, yes, but money, no. Everything isn't about money. You know what I mean? Give me some money. Money is going to come eventually. We all make money some way or another. It's going to come. But treat it professional, treat it like business, and you'll get there eventually.
So I asked you before who was like your special guest on the show, and you gave me your not so special guest. So I'll reiterate that question. Give me some of the, other than Mr. T, some of your dance song, your sound patch, like which DJ.
I got two for you.
All right.
We'll give you one artist and I'll give you a sound system. When I spoke to Pinchers, all right, that interview there was one interview when I said, okay, we're out, and I was done. It's like I practically floated out of the studio. That interview was epic from beginning to end, and that interview almost never happened. And that one there was one of the ones that really broke me on the internet, was that Pinterest interview. Wicked interview. Check it out. Sound-wise now, was to sit down with Rory from Stone Love. That was one where you were like a kid, where I remember listening to the 1990 Stone Loves with this man on it. And then now you're sitting in my studio right across from me. I'm asking you the questions and you're answering. That was crazy right there. That was crazy. That was a crazy experience. And then to have Sky Juice the following week, that just topped it off. You know what I mean?
Who out there do you have an interview that you would like to interview in sound system culture?
Holy fuck. There's like, Tanya, to tell you the God's honest truth, there's hundreds to thousands of people. We didn't
haven't scratched nothing yet, eh? Haven't scratched the surface.
We're not start yet. Start where? You think your little 180 something episodes? We're not start yet.
You reach jammies yet? You reach jammies yet?
Not yet.
Hey.
But stay around. We did the Black Scorpio.
Muscle. We're waiting.
I did talk to Jack Scorpio. That was a wicked one too. He was very forthcoming. That was a good one. You brought it up. He was very forthcoming, and he dealt with me like he knew me for a long time. And this was just a random cold call, and it just happened to work out. That was a good one. I have a lot of.
Go ahead.
Okay, say what you're saying. I was going to tell you, I have a lot of stuff on the go. I have some, again, since we're talking, and I'm going to be so honest with you, I have some. Are we allowed to swear in this podcast?
Of course, it's the Rebel's voice.
Of some Ross interview put on right now.
Hey.
Ross interviews put on. Boss, you see, when I say squeeze, you understand what I'm saying. Ross. Ross. Ross.
What?
Yeah. And again, that's just a little, okay, yeah, let's get hyped for 1 second, but really and truly, I know what I have put out is a living joke to what's about to come. You understand?
Like that.
As long as I stay the course. You know what I
I
mean?
like that. I know what you mean when you say that. I know what you mean. And I look forward to seeing so much more from you. And I just wanted to let you know that I'm very proud of you, knowing where you're coming from and knowing where you're at and foreseeing your future and all of that good stuff out there. But before you go, Trooper,
Mhm.
he's my all-time sound system. How was it talking to him?
What do you mean? How was it? You know, Trooper hasn't been on the
Eh,
program. You know
huh?
that, right?
Huh?
You know, I didn't talk. Trooper hasn't been on the Entertainment Report podcast
He
yet. You know that,
hasn't
right?
been on the entertainment
No,
report yet. Why?
no. Man.
Why? You want him to
Okay. All right. Another honest moment. We're gonna be honest here.
agree?
I like being honest. I did reach out to Trooper, but he didn't. He checked the message, but he didn't get back to me yet. So that's just what it is.
He
But
checked the message,
to
but
tell
he
you,
not get back to you yet.
no, he didn't get back to me. But to tell you the truth, I did an interview with Trooper in what night? What year did they keep that Back to Basics where it was Sound Trooper? What was the song that Pretty Rick used to play again? Was it Tech Nine?
Tech Nine.
Yeah, Sound Trooper, Tech Nine, and Irie Crew the night before World Clash in Scotty's place in Brooklyn. I actually did an interview with Trooper back
How
then.
was it talking to Trooper?
It was interesting back then, but again, I didn't really know what I was doing back then. We're talking about 15, 16 years ago. But then Trooper Trooper was interesting back then. But I think now at this point where I have certain questions in my mind for certain people that I've had for like 5, 6, 7 years put on.
Word up.
Yeah, man. When we sit down, I'm ready
You're
to
gonna
talk.
ask him those questions. Trooper, you hear that?
Yeah.
I also has
Big
a
up
few
Trooper.
questions put on
Yeah.
to ask you.
Big up Trooper.
Because
Big up my man
I
Trooper.
just wanted to know if you've been on the podcast and why not.
No, no,
You know,
Trooper
just
hasn't
like
been
Ron
yet.
Nelson and
Yeah.
and certain people too. You have to know.
You
So
have to remember something. A lot of obvious having a lot of the holy smokes. I didn't expect that. They came on. You understand? So as I said, we're
yeah,
still building.
yeah, you're still putting in the building blocks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I expect to see Trooper on the podcast. Keep
No,
bothering him.
no. Several times on the podcast. Not a time. Several times.
Several times on the podcast because them man they have story, you know, and it can't be told in one sitting. It can't be told in one sitting at all. I'm just the reason why I asked you that is because I was gonna ask you this. Do you feel that what you're doing is like library
Yeah, of course.
sound system culture?
I think what I have the privilege to do is document a lot of stuff from sound system culture, as I said, from pastors to porn stars and everybody in between with a heavy dose of reggae. I've gotten the privilege to actually sit down and document and put this in one central place. You understand? Because you could Google everything we speak about. I'm pretty sure you could Google, you could find it somewhere.
Of course.
But I'm just wanting to put it in one central place. When you go back, you said, holy smokes, look, I had a conversation with Lookie's even there with Soul Survival, and you could go back 5 years from now. And holy smokes, that's how Pablo looked. That's how Pablo spoke. You understand? I'm on your show now. I come back 7 years from now. We'll look back like, holy smokes, look at him. He had 3 little gray, but now his entire face is gray. Like, it's cool. You know what I mean?
See, Mellow Vibes is there bothering you.
Mm-hmm. What does he say? Eradication dubs. We need to document that. Yeah, there will be. You know, me, I'll tell you something with me. Everything that I've done, I never put myself, me,
In
and
the
what I
front.
do first. Yeah, no, it's always everybody else. If you've even watched a lot of any of the podcast interviews, especially with Salman, that knew that I was playing out, and we might have clashed or been in the same dance with them. When they bring it up, we'll talk quickly, but my thing is never about me. It's always about you and what you're doing. I want to hear what you're doing. We'll get to me eventually, you know. I did
Right.
our
Like you
100th
are now.
episode was mine. Yeah, we'll get to me, you know. But right now, it's always about them. You know what I mean? Mellow Vibes and all of those guys are from Finch. They know about those times there. You know what I mean? When we're clashing, playing in Palisades, Shoreham, freaking Driftwood, all those places. He knows about that. You know what I
Derek,
mean?
Moped says, I want to hear from Bobby Chemist Electro Force on Muscle Program.
Okay, tell him this. Tell him I'm looking for Bobby Chemist, but I don't know where to find him.
He can hear
100%
you.
looking for that man there. 100%. But again, as I said, I have some Ras thing put up to even last night. We recorded 2 episodes. Listen to me.
Yeah, go hard.
When they touch,
Nice.
yeah.
I look forward to all of that.
Yeah.
I look forward to all of that. Are you gonna have like an anniversary? Feel like your 200 podcast and play Eradication on the live or something like that? Come on, man.
I don't know. We're close. As I said, we're up to 180 something right now, so we're close because the 100th episode I did myself. I was my own guest. Probably 200. I'm not sure yet. We're not. Listen, you have to remember. Some days, look, some days you'll see a soundman. Sometimes you'll see a foundation artist. Sometimes you'll see. It all depends on the mood, the zone, what people are requesting, where my vibe is at. It depends. I don't have no one solid answer to give you. Say, yo, this is what it is. I'll be lying to you. I don't want to lie to you.
Moped says, okay, boss, I'll get the number and give it to Tanya to give to you.
Wrong here. Ready.
Right, that's all. It connects.
Ready.
The link connect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, see there? You make a connection.
Listen, and you have to remember, with something like this, is where even with this show here, when you linked me and said, okay, you want to do the show, remember, I never asked you how many people are listening, what type of audience. I didn't ask you none of that, The only thing I asked you was when. Because one thing I know is this, is if your show has 1,000 people or one person listening, most likely it's somebody that hasn't been on my program, or it might be somebody different where we've never heard before. So you see, connections are everywhere, everywhere. Mm-hmm.
But I thank you so much for coming through. I'd like you to let the people know where to find you online. Give them a plug and where to find you online. Even though everybody know, tell them.
No. But you see, that's where a lot of people get shit twisted. A lot of people, listen, because I celebrated my 25th anniversary April 1st. I think everybody knows. That's when everything starts to slow down. A couple people know, but I'm going to tell the rest of people where to find me. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Muscle from the Entertainment Report podcast, and you can check us out at twolinemusichut.com or on YouTube at Entertainment Report Podcast. We're on all digital platforms like Spotify, SoundCloud, all of those things. Entertainment Report Podcast, check it out. You want to check me personally on Instagram, it's Musclehead Inc. On Instagram, yeah. Or on Instagram also, 2linemusichut. Check us out. We answer most of our messages. Sometimes I don't because I get so much. But check me out. Send me a message. I'm wrong here. I like to talk. You know what I mean? I like to have fun. And thank you, Tanya, for bringing me around. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Thank you. I love what you're doing.
Thank you.
I love what you're doing. I see what you're doing. You know what I mean? I see you. I see.
Thanks, Muscle. Thanks.
No problem.
I'm not going to stop. Thanks for coming through.
No
Everybody, big up yourself from the top of the list to the base of your list. It's your girl, Tanya Black. This is Rebel's Voice, and we out.
Thank you.